Hello and welcome back, everyone. So, we're still discussing international trade, and the growth of international trade has given rise to a concept of multinational companies. As the name suggests, these are companies that are operational in multiple nations all over the world. So, these are the giants of the world. These are companies that have maximized the potential locally. So, they've sold to everyone they could in their locality, then their whole nation, and now they feel that they have the capacity to now go and target international markets. So they expand, they set up locations all over the world. However, they will always have one country which they will call their home country, the originating country. So multinationals are those businesses that have headquarters in one particular country with operations, branches, and factories and offices in other countries as well. So, big global network. Companies such as Coca Cola, Honda, and Pfizer are just some of the companies that we know to be operating all over the world. And as I said, these are giants. These are big businesses that have big budgets and have big ambitions. There's some interesting facts about multinationals that I want to share with you first. 500 of the world's biggest multinationals control 70% of global trade. Yeah, let that sink in. So, most of our lives are controlled by a handful of companies. 52 multinational companies rank in top 100 economies in the world. That means that more than half of the top 100 performing economies are actually multinationals. They're that big that they are bigger than most countries. And in fact, Walmart's revenue in 2021 was a whopping $560 billion, which was more than Sweden's GDP of 540. Sweden's ranked 24th in the world. So that makes Walmart 23rd biggest country in the world in terms of GDP. So you can see how big these multinationals can get and how influential they can be in both the way the consumers think and how the countries deal with these multinationals. So we've seen a growth in the number of multinationals in pretty much all industries all over the world, be it technology, oil and gas, education, you name it, and I'm sure you can think of a multinational in all industries. It's car manufacturing, Honda, Toyota. We saw medicine, Pfizer, education, Cambridge, oil and gas. There is BP, Shell. So there are multiple examples of multiple multinationals all over the world. And besides being a household name and having a global presence, there are other reasons why businesses feel that being a multinational is going to reap rewards. And none more so than the reason of being closer to the markets that you're targeting. By having a local presence, but showing the customers that you're actually there in case there's a feedback or any complaint or you need any other help from that business. Local presence will help you to bring ease to the minds of the consumers that the business hasn't just forgotten about them and they're there to support them in any problems. That's something that's going to help you improve customer loyalty. Additionally, it's a chance for you to reduce your transportation costs. If you're operating in just one country and exporting your products all over the world, of course, you'll have to sort out logistics and transportation and the added cost that comes with it. By being a multinational, you simply move to that country, produce there, and transport it locally. So, of course, in comparison, that's going to reduce your transportation cost even more. Of course, there's one thing that is greatly overlooked in international markets, and that's the importance of having local knowledge. First hand local information, because if you're there on grounds, you will be able to collect that information through market research and be able to act upon it quicker as opposed to if you are in another country. So there, if you could possibly miss a chance, but by being a multinational, you're able to act on that information and gain that first mover advantage in that market. Additionally, you can also buy additional materials now that first were not accessible to you, because we talk about things such as natural resources. So maybe you want to produce paper and you want to move to a country where there are forests that you can buy. So that's something that you can do. Or maybe you need to source oil. you move to a country where there's actually oil. It also helps you to reduce any delays in inventory, because if you're located in another country, you don't have to worry about bringing in the materials across borders or using container ships to do that. You can be in the country where the material is, and it reduces the deliveries delay problems. Of course, that's something that helps to bring up the efficiency levels. And finally, you can now find a way to avoid these protectionist barriers. We discussed things such as tariffs, quotas, and duties, which are only applied if you import or export things. But now, by being a multinational, you're producing locally and you're selling locally. So all of these protectionist barriers are easily avoided. And finally, you can now find better resources. Resources such as skilled labor and cheaper land is something that can be found in different countries all over the world, and companies are constantly looking to find better ways to reduce their production costs, and cheaper international markets help you to do that. So, all in all, being a multinational gives you great power, great influence, you're closer to your market, and you have access to all these materials and resources which you can use to make your products better, be more efficient, reduce your costs, and in the end, what multinationals do, that they collect all their money, take it back home to their home country.